infamous around the world because of what he calls a tariff war. He says the rest of the world is treating America unfairly. And so he wants to put tariffs against China and India and Russia and Iran and Venezuela and Cuba and even the European allies. I think about the only country that's not paying tariffs in Trump's tariff war is Israel. And so this is not really a tax against the other world. Remember the definition. Remember the definition. Trumpism is portrayed, or Trump's tariff war is portrayed as what? As a war against the rest of the world. He's putting 100% and 150% tariffs against India if they trade in Russian oil, or if China supports Russia's war machine. He's even putting tariffs against the European Union unless they buy a certain amount of American oil or invest in America. Same with Japan, putting tariffs on Japan unless they invest in America. But again, those are Trumpisms. None of that is true. Guess who pays the increased tariff on consumer goods that get imported into the United States? The consumer, meaning you and me. So if there's a 50% tariff against, say, Japan, and you were getting ready to buy a Toyota, and that Toyota was priced at $20,000. Now, if there's a 50% tariff, now that same Toyota is going to cost you $30,000. You're paying the tariff. When the boat brings the Toyota from Japan, they're going to pass that extra 50% on to you. They're not going to pay it. Or if they have to pay that entry fee at the harbor, then they're not going to come in the harbor. And that's why the last time Trump waged tariff war against the entire world, especially against China, there were no ships coming into any of the harbors in America because they said, "To hell with you, Mr. Trump. We don't need the American market. You're only 6% of the world's population. You're not as big as you think you are." And so that's why there's a wave of inflationary dollars washing back on America. Because in order to keep America going for the last 80 years, you could say, America has been selling treasury bonds to the rest of the world at the point of a gun. If you didn't deal in dollars as the reserve currency, then the Pentagon was going to sail warships or submarines and bomb the hell out of you until you complied with using the almighty dollar. But things have changed. And so now people are doing trading outside of the dollar. And so when America is trying to finance another war, like she's trying to finance the war in Ukraine, trying to finance genocide in Gaza. Well, America has been bankrupt since 1933. So the only way that she can finance anything is to go further and further into national debt. That's what the Federal Reserve Bank was set up for. And that's what the IRS was set up for 100 years ago. So they can print money out of thin air to finance wars. And then go tax the taxpayers to pay for it. And that's the scam of war that's been going on for the last 100 years. And now, since the rest of the world has gotten wise to it, the only people left who haven't gotten wise to it are the American people who have been propagandized for generations. And they don't understand anything about war. They don't understand anything about economics. They don't understand anything about international relations. They don't understand anything about history. They don't understand anything about diplomacy, because all they've known since World War II is a Cold War with intermittent hot wars. When's the last time America was at peace? You can't answer, can you? Because I can't answer either. I think somebody said in the whole history of America, there's only been 2 years where America hasn't been at war with somebody. And I guess they were just getting their breath to go back to the next war. Next image, please. So the tariff war is against the American people. It's against your pocketbook. And it's going to be reflected as what they call inflation. You're going to pay more for everything, but you're not going to get paid more on your job. So you better have a better economic plan than being a wage slave. So now Jeffrey Epstein